Why, hello there, Internet. My name is Jose Otero. I'm here with Brendan Graver.
How you doing?
And we are streaming The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD for you today. That's 2 hours of Brendan
2 hours
worshiping Wolf Link. So, Ben, let's just jump right in. We're here just about ready to kick things off. Obviously, you know this is a re-release of a game that was initially released in 2006 on Wii and on a GameCube. You'll see here that you can choose between your gamepad or your Pro Controller. We're using the gamepad for today. We're actually going to load this save, which is a little into the campaign, but not super far ahead. And we're taking your questions. Brendan, talk to the lovely folks. How do they talk to us?
We'll be spying on y'all's chat and Twitch and on YouTube. Plus, you can tweet us with the hashtag IGN Plays Live, and I will see it on Twitter, and I will say, hey, this guy has a good question or a comment or whatever, and we'll respond to it the best we can.
So we're here in Kakariko Village. Obviously, we have gone ahead and sort of recovered this place from the Twilight. I'm trying to choose my words carefully. Obviously, we're going to be... This is pretty early on in the game, but if you're trying to go in without any knowledge, I'm sorry, but this game is 10 years old. Shame on you for tuning into the stream. So I'm just going to run ahead over to the Gorons, because I basically have to figure out what is going on. So I'm going to run ahead real quick. And so through this portion, I'm trying to get to Goron Mines. We should be able to do that within the next 2 hours.
I love Goron Mines.
We're also going to show you some amiibo support as well in the game. And, you know, just answer your questions. So, Brendan, I guess I want to ask you a question. Really? When did you first play Twilight Princess? Like, on what platform? And, you know, what was your takeaway?
My first experience with the game was waiting in line for a Wii at 6 in the morning in front of a Target.
What was that like?
It was fun. Some guy came by and asked why everyone was standing in line, and then they all said weed. He's like, whoa, they're selling weed here?
Did he really?
He really.
Okay, and then he knocked you over, basically, like what's about to happen here. Because I do not have the metal boots.
You
so
know,
I'm gonna have
the
to
metal boots.
learn. Yeah.
But yeah, I got Twilight Princess with the Wii. I was really lucky because I was like maybe like 10th to 15th in line, and I didn't see the game.
Okay.
And I was starting to panic, and then someone didn't want it, and they put it down on a random shelf on the line. So I was like, oh, snatched.
Wow. Okay. Really?
Yes.
You were that guy. Just
yeah.
This is mine.
He put it down. I picked it up, and then immediately bought the game, and then went on a vacation trip and didn't play it for a week.
But you got a Wii.
But I got a Wii, and I played it with the Wii remote, with the nunchucks, with the waggling.
Okay.
And I have to say, I know there's been a lot of divisiveness over it, but as a man who likes his sword play, I actually liked using the Wii remote.
Well, and there were some, really cool benefits to using a Wii remote. I mean, first of all, like the pointer controls were really good for aiming. Zelda had not had an aiming mechanic that felt that natural. Granted, we're all gamers. Like we got into it, I feel just fine with a controller, but that was something that worked really well. I feel like on that system. So we're gonna get reunited with Epona. Of course, you know Epona if you know the Zelda series. Hopefully, I don't screw this up because this is a series of QuickTime events, and sometimes you just have bad luck.
Yeah.
Did
you name her Epona?
Of course. I'm not changing. That's canon, man. I'm not changing that.
They let you change the name though.
Oh no, all the time. Yeah.
Which was a first for the Zelda series.
Yep, absolutely. Ooh, I gotta hang on. Hang on. Come on, sit still. There we go. We got
First try.
All right. Yep. It actually happened. So I also had my first Twilight Princess experience was also on Wii. 2006. It was near impossible to get one. And so I think I didn't get one until 2007. Sadly, because it had come out in November. And I had gotten it at a Virgin Megastore in Manhattan.
Wow.
And I had to buy a bundle in order to do it, which I was not happy about. But, of course, I got Twilight Princess, and I got WarioWare Smooth Moves, and I had to buy an extra controller. It was pretty pricey, but it still turned out, I thought, well, like I was really happy to finally, play this game, because there was a lot of excitement for this Zelda in particular. And we have a visit.
This guy.
I love this guy. This guy's
How
hilarious.
does he always find you?
I don't know. It's his
should
job.
be like in the Sky Temple. He's like, hey, what's up?
He's so weird. Like I love that about his character, and he hums. Like, I love that. Or he changes the
He's a man who takes the job very seriously.
Yes. And he
Onward to mail.
All right, so since we just got the mail, let's show you how you check the mail. So I'm going to hit down on the D-pad, and you'll see here the collection screen has changed.
Looks nice.
We have over here, I believe, our letters. I don't think I've read any of them, actually. So you got about mail delivery. I have a letter for you. I will approach you at high speed. Please do not flee. Then you have Dear Adventurer, and it's talking about this is. So how do you pronounce his name? Because I always get this wrong. Okoko. Thanks. All right, so that's our letter from him as well. All right, so speaking of letters, we got any feedback, any questions?
We have a question. Is there anything that's under embargo for this game before the review?
That is a very specific question. To my knowledge, no.
Yeah, I looked at the embargo
this is a
sheet.
10-year-old game. Like, what?
Yeah, I looked at the embargo sheet, and
yeah, there aren't any big surprises that we've been told. That is a very strange first question. Who is this human?
That's our friend Raketo Cat at Alex Esquire.
Okay, you're welcome, Alex. And no, so far that we know of, no.
Unless they've somehow hidden something wonderful.
Ooh, you know people are going to be looking for if there's any references to New Zelda in this game. Because, I mean, when Nintendo went ahead and re-released Ocarina of Time, there was a bunch of Skyward Sword art in that game, and those games came out the same year. Nothing like sort of spoiling anything, but just kind of surprises in weird places. There were little touches and things added.
So D. Caleb X asks, is it jarring to have the world flipped on you if you played it on the Wii originally?
Oh man, I think at first yes. I'm going to say no right now because I've been playing this game across 2 platforms for the past like month.
You've been doing your homework, as have I.
Yeah, we both have been like, well, yeah, exactly. No, we've both been doing a lot of homework on this game, and me in preparation for the review, I went ahead and played it on GameCube again and on Wii again. We're just riding.
It is, yeah. Especially if you played it recently or still have it fresh in your mind, it can be like, wait, I thought the Kakariko was in the west. Why is it in the
No, yeah, and in some cases I would jump between dungeons like one after the other, and this is really silly to bring up, but we were taking our homework that seriously. Where I'd like finish the first dungeon in Twilight Princess, and then I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna play this on the Wii version, and the next left is a right, and you're like, well, wait a minute, what is going on? So I'm actually gonna get off Horseback here in order to learn a special skill. As you know, there are these hollow sort of structures you'll find, and they teach you a tune, and you howl as a wolf, and it's hilarious and ridiculous. But it's also one of the few musical sort of parts of the game. And you meet this gentleman.
I don't think I ever realized in the Wii version that the wolf also did not have an eye.
Oh yeah, no, they both are missing. Oh, you never picked up on that?
I never saw that.
I didn't notice the wolf was missing one until this.
Yeah,
this
I didn't notice either. I noticed that he was missing an eye, but I didn't realize that it also.
Oh, what did he want me to go over? Oh no.
Smack you? Hit him?
I should have paid attention. Oh, ending blow. Thanks. That helps. All right, so let's.
Ben keeping track.
He's disappointed. I can tell this guy's disappointed. I should have paid attention. This is my own fault. All right, he's down, and now he's really down. Ooh, that was a weird stabby stab. And now he'll teach me a new skill. So we're going to learn the shield attack. This is an important one because then later on you learn the helm splitter, and it's tied to this very move. I love how in Wind Waker and in this game, there was this idea of you getting trained by different people. And they followed up with it in Skyward Sword as well, but it wasn't quite as interesting to me because like you cross swords with this gentleman just like you do the dude who's in your hometown.
Yeah.
Let's just hit him back because that's what he wants me to do. If you just shield bash him and you don't swing, he gets a little aggravated.
Shardy asks, is this a review copy?
Yes, absolutely a review copy. Man, you gotta up these questions, kids. Like, what's going on?
Don't hold back.
Oh no, I messed up. All right, I gotta get away from him. There we go.
have our obligatory question from Tato King asking, do you think The Legend of Zelda Wii U will be on the Wii U, or is it getting moved to the NX?
They've said to us it's going to be on Wii U. What they haven't said is if it'll be on the next thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dustin Clark asks, is there any new Miiverse interaction added in, like in Wind Waker with the messages in the bottle?
No. So you don't have messages that you're seeing in game. Instead, there are stamps that you can sort of create messages in. They have like a whole Hylian alphabet So that should be fun. Unfortunately, we can't show you any of that because the Miiverse section, at least as of last night when I was playing, still isn't activated. So we're unable to show you that stuff. But if you want to see the collection really quick, which is totally fine, I only have 2 so far, and they are hidden in dungeons. So I have the letter A in Hyrulean,
That's
and
cool.
I have Hylian, excuse me, and I have the letter N. So you can
You
type
too
out a
can
message.
learn
There's
to read
also,
and write Hylian.
Yeah. Well, they also have some emoji, like, for example, like a shocked Midna.
Hylian emojis.
That.
What does the world come to?
It's the future. It's up there with the Wind Waker selfie. You watch it.
People on Twitch want us to speedrun this game.
Oh, I don't think
glitches.
that's... No.
You know how to do the game
We're
clip?
not the right... So I've seen it, but I'm not brave enough to try it. Sorry, kids. Maybe after the game's been out a while and I've had time to practice. But right now, we're only interested in playing through as much as we can for review. So I've got to go over here. And I love this next scene a lot because this is one of those times that Zelda's Japanese influence, like obviously Nintendo, a Japanese game maker, is located in Japan, more specifically Kyoto, their headquarters. And there is a sumo minigame that you participate in with this gentleman here.
It was very strange not seeing a lot of references to Japanese culture in Zelda games up to this point to get one that's so entwined.
Yeah, no, and that's definitely something that maybe just became more pronounced as games, entered 3D. But you're gonna see, this is such a fun scene, and the mayor over here even ends up wearing a wabaki, which is he looks like he's ready to go. And so we're going to get this moving. I'm gonna try and actually, nope, can't skip this conversation because it's our first time.
Someone on YouTube, LLJ Pev says, does the map on the gamepad work the same as Wind Waker HD?
Yes. So, in a few minutes, I can hold it up and show you what's on the gamepad. Although the brightness seems a little low, so I may have to turn it up. But yes, we can actually show you that. Let me get through the sumo minigame first,
Sure,
and then we'll get to you. Yeah.
Vital Furious asks, are there any extra places or stuff in this version of the game? Only one to my knowledge is the Cave
of Shadows. Yeah, so you're only getting that if you bought this amiibo here, which is only being sold in the bundle when the game releases, but I would not be surprised if it's being sold individually afterwards. I don't think they've hinted one way or another. And here we are, our challenger. The incredibly lightweight. All right. Hopefully I don't screw up here. That's a horrible opening view. Good lord. All right, let's sumo. That also sounds like a very ceremonial Japanese.
Oh yeah. Come on, go for the slap. Go for the slap. Dodge him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where are you going? Where are you going? Get out.
Get off my stage.
He's off my stage. Good job.
He wipes his hand at this business.
Little man is not weak. That's right. Okay. Now this time he's gonna fight for real.
Here's a question I'm sure a lot of people are interested in. John Devine, hope I'm pronouncing it right, says, did they make any changes to this slow intro to this game?
Interesting. Yes, they did. Well, no, they didn't. So, in terms of part of the slow intro is the Vessels of Light. Oh man, this is like.
Oof,
hang on,
nice
I gotta
dodge.
push him out of the arena first. I can't talk to you
That's
right
right.
now. John,
you got
just
it.
give me 1 second. He's out. All right. So in the intro, there aren't a huge number of changes. There are less light vessels to get, but ultimately, you're still doing that part of the game. You're still hurting.
The narrative progression is there.
Yeah, the narrative progression is exactly the same. I would not, you can point to Wind Waker and the Swift Sail. The Swift Sail was a way to speed up travel, but ultimately everything was the same. If not, they added this whole section where you have to meet Tingle.
You forgot your
Oh yeah,
boots.
I forgot my thing. He said, "Wait, you defeated the Goron.
Wait,
You're
where are you
gonna
going?
leave? What are you doing?" All right, I broke my my brain broke because I was answering the question. But you are going to notice that there are changes to the general balance of the game, like in terms of how quickly, for example, Link climbs, either vines or ladders. There's stuff like that even when you pick up light vessels, like before, you had to wait until a very particular moment before the light vessel was cleared as something that you can pick up.
Yeah.
So a lot of times after you fought one of those little light spiders or those little enemies, you would be sitting there waiting for the light vessel to sit. And that's a couple of seconds, but I'm sure speedrunners out there will be like, thank God. Now I don't have to worry about that anymore. So here's a quick example of the climbing that I'm talking about. Because Brendan, you played this game recently too on Wii.
Yes, I did.
You tell me if you don't notice a change. And this sounds incredibly granular, but this is kind of the point of these
Oh,
things
yeah,
to show you how, and that's just a short like wall that used to take a lot longer. I feel like
the first temple in particular has a lot of vine walls, and I remember it takes a long time for them to get moving.
Yeah. So we got the boots. So actually, before we move on, Ben, can you bring the camera to us? Because I want to show real quickly what's on the gamepad. So just on us here. So first you're going to see here, we have, and if you want to zoom in, Ben, you totally can. It's your call. You have on the gamepad the items itself, and then there is a tab for your mini-map. And on your mini-map, you have some zoom controls. Also, whenever you can shoot back over to the game. Whenever you are teleporting and you bring up your map, so you see on the D-pad, for example, you press up to bring up your map on screen, you can make portal choices using the gamepad.
That's really, really helpful because I remember, like again, in terms of like slowing up random things, and in order to warp, in previous games you had to talk to Midna. She asks what you want to do. You say you want to warp.
Oh yeah,
choose location.
Yeah, and having the ability to transform into Link whenever you when you unlock it, but by just a little button at the top
instead of having
corner.
to ask her again. Yeah,
you don't have to ask her to transform. There's little things like that have sped up the flow of the game, but ultimately the game is still narratively the same game. So you are getting that intro that is pretty divisive among Zelda fans, right? Some really appreciated it because they like the idea of a backstory for Link and sort of his place in this world. Other people were like, hey, I just want to get to the dungeon already. And it's respectful on both sides. I can hear that out.
That's true. I really like what Wind Waker did a lot with speeding up things. Like if you had played the Changing the Wind Flow song, after you did it the first time, it would already know you did it, so it wouldn't go with the whole animation all over again.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and that's kind of the same approach they took with Twilight Princess HD.
Can you play as Neiman on the gamepad only like you could in Wind Waker?
Yes, you can. And in fact, if you do that, you are seeing Twilight Princess closer to how it was originally designed for, which was a 480p sort of experience. Because your gamepad is not a high-definition screen. So I'm going to need the map really quick. All right, I'm going to the right.
Adam Stipp on Twitter asks, does Wolf Link Amiibo do anything else besides the new cave?
So far in this game, no. So it unlocks that new cave, and you save your clear times to it. So actually, we're going to, later on in the stream, scan it in and show you the second leg. Whoops, I'm paying attention to Brendan. Brendan, you were going to say something.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but when you complete the cave, the amount of hearts that you have can also be used by tapping it again to refill your hearts.
So it does say that. Yeah, there is that as well. But it's still something that's very much tied to the cave.
Yes.
Actually, the last feature on this thing, which this may sound... it's an interesting touch, is that if you want to just quick load the last game you played, if you just swipe your amiibo from the title screen, you're supposed to be able to do that. And just load up your game and get moving. You don't have to go through, which file do you want and which controller do you want? Just jump right in. It was my understanding. So that's pretty cool.
This is my favorite part of this game.
Me too. This is actually a really dramatic point in the game. So these kids are from the starting village, and they have been relocated to Kakariko. And this is really creepy. I mean, these enemies just
creepy
come in.
Too.
This is pretty dark. Like, this game has a lot of dark themes for a Zelda. Up there with Majora's Mask easily, which is another really dark entry in the series. This is Colin. Someone who really, obviously, appreciates...
He's Neville Longbottom of this game.
He is, yeah.
I too can be a hero.
Been inspired. I can be a hero, yes. And he comes to our rescue. Man, that's almost like a Game of Thrones death there, but of course this is a Nintendo game, so no one dies, as you can see. He's in his hands. At least not in that way. Actually, someone really important dies in this game for the Zora, remember?
Shh. Spoilers from 10 years ago.
Oh, all right, fine. Apologies. So this is a cool sequence that definitely dropped people's jaws, I feel, when this game was first shown. Sort of horseback sword fighting.
I really dug the soundtrack for this game.
Yeah.
I was a little sad that they didn't carry the orchestra theme from some of the preview music they had.
And it's not an orchestral soundtrack at all. It's actually following a more of a classic MIDI style soundtrack.
Yeah, I was sad about that, but the samples that they have are great. I think this is my favorite interpretation of Hyrule Field's music theme.
Yep.
Especially when going up from foot to the horse, how that sweeping changes.
Yep, absolutely.
The dungeon themes and the boss themes are all great.
We are coming to help you, young one.
Here's a good question from Cole Pastor on Twitter. Did they remove the "you got a rupee" message every time you get a certain denomination?
Yeah. So once you've picked it up once, you never see that message again.
Yay!
Yeah. And also, when you open treasure chests and your wallet is full, it no longer says to you, "Oh, well, you can't carry this, so you should put it back." That rupee just goes into the ether. But what they did do is that in some dungeons, those rupee chests have been replaced with Miiverse stamps. So you want to do diligence and check that stuff out. All right, gotta ride up close to this guy. Ah, don't get away. Oh, no. No, are you kidding me? What a choke.
I've also loved how, I mean, a lot of other
these guys.
games have done this, but I think
Choked there,
Twilight Princess in particular...
You're being polite. I just straight up choked on stream.
Twilight Princess in particular has a great sense of having the music shift depending on what's going on. Like, when you get close to him, that crazy music starts swirling, like in a lot of the boss fights when the boss is down. You hear that like the dun, 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 the triumphant music.
It is the cue, like, dude, this is your time to shine.
Yeah.
They do a really good job of that. Oh, come on, how is he still on that horse? Get off the horse. We are wrecking this guy, but he is hanging.
He has no armor left. It's all yours. Yeah,
we got him. All right, that's probably the fastest I've ever beat that guy. So if you wanted speed run, that's as close as you're gonna get. I've never done that any faster than that. I'm sure there's a way to skip this entire fight, actually. I gotta think about that.
You have to glitch it and jump in the canyon.
So I'm gonna screw up here because I always screw up here. This is like classic.
Actually,
like, whoops.
I never screw up on this one, but I always screw up on the next one you do, and the Lake Hylia bridge.
Oh, really?
Yeah. For some reason,
that's the easiest one.
For some reason, that's the one that's I always like. Even after I stun with the bow and arrow, I get knocked off. I don't know why.
Yeah, this is such a great setup, by the way. Like, this has to be one of my favorite sort of set pieces they've done outside of the dungeon stuff, which is always excellent.
Yeah,
in
it's
Zelda.
extremely cinematic.
Oh no, totally, and very like almost Lord of the Rings esque. Oh man, all right, that's how I do
kind of
that
a
part.
small trot there.
Yeah, I just had to turn the other way. Turn around, turn around. No, oh, I didn't go all the way down. Great, turn around, Epona. We don't want to die.
Pull out your lance. You gotta joust.
I'm trying.
Careful. You gotta go faster. What are you doing? You're going so slow.
I like to take my time.
It's like, I'm a coming.
No, that was a mistake, actually. All right, let's try and do this right. I told you, this is my one part I'm going to screw up.
Yeah. Ready? Swerve. Yeah, you go.
There we go. We got him.
I got some more in there.
Thanks. I needed that, Doc Lewis. All right, here we go.
Show them what you got, Mac baby.
Sure.
Oh.
All right, screwed up there.
I like how they just rose for a second there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Trying to get you excited. Come on, turn around. Here we go. All right, let's do this.
Nice.
We got him. So I took
into the abyss he goes.
Yep. All right. So Brendan, if you're watching the stream, we're playing Zelda Twilight Princess HD. This is the upcoming re-release. At least in North America, it's coming out, I believe, March 3rd. And we've got a hero here, clearly.
I'm ready for the camera.
Yep. Pose for the camera. But you can interact with us. We'll answer some questions for you. Brendan,
I'll be checking the Twitch and the YouTube and Twitter. If you tweet out the IGN hashtag, IGN Plays Live, I will see them. I'm going to swap between them. I'm going to check out
We saved
Twitch.
Colin.
Druzona says, Jose, do you still play Destiny? Haven't seen you in the Fire Team chat in a while.
Ooh. So I have not, actually. I'm on a vacation. A lot of other assignments going on. Even my regular raid group has kind of slowed down, but we're talking about kicking it back up soon.
Shardy asks, I've never played this game, but what's your favorite part? That's one of them.
That is easily one of them. The Horseback sequence is one of those, like, this is a cool idea. We do it once, and then we put it away for a while, and you don't see it.
When they bring it back, that's my other favorite part, is the 4-tier final boss fight.
Yeah.
That ends with a very climactic one-on-one battle, which I absolutely adored.
Yep. So you heard it here. It's his favorite too. That's there's a lot of cool moments I feel in this game. Like let's also be clear, right? Like some of the gathering, like getting light vessels, can be a really divided thing. Like it's not the most flattering sort of game mechanic in the world, or something that makes you feel super heroic. But once you clear some of that stuff, you do get to some of the best dungeons I think the series has ever had. You get to some of the coolest like set piece ideas they've had. Now, there is, though, the overlap with, if you've played Ocarina of Time, this does feel like a remixed version of that campaign. Granted, the wolf stuff is different, and some of the, light dark world is a bit different. But at the same time, this one finds ways to stand on its own. That's really interesting. Ronaldo. There he is. Carries off Colin. He'll live. He survives. Spoiler.
He gets better.
He gets better. Is that what you just said?
It was a little bit of a Monty Python.
Okay, got it. Nice work.
Yeah.
And guess where we're going? To handle some Gorons. We're going to the Goron mines next.
Alex Scott asks, is there a way to change quickly to Wolf Link without the gamepad? Or with the gamepad? It says without the gamepad.
Yeah, you can talk to Binda the way you normally would. But we aren't at the point in the game where you're able to switch between forms. That doesn't happen to a very particular thing.
But yeah, now you can get it as a one-button press, or you talk to Midna, whichever you like.
Just realized I need to buy my Hylian shield. So let's go inside and visit this big-headed baby.
What's up, YouTube? MJ Duran. How long is it going to be? It's going to be 2 hours.
Yes.
Now an hour and a half.
Well, yeah. So we're roughly half an hour in. You can look at stuff, but don't you dare just take things. That's right. That's solid advice.
Creepy baby.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
He can be. I
That
agree.
forehead could deflect a laser blast.
Yeah.
It's like the mirror shield. It could just use his head as a mirror shield.
The other wooden shield has a different emblem on it. And that's something I feel like I somehow missed.
There's a lot of things like I can see with some of it's due to the graphical enhancements, like that little doll that the girl carries on her back. I never noticed that.
Yeah.
That was only on just now that I've noticed.
So you can use the touchscreen to also like switch items in your inventory or investigate some of this stuff. Let's go into options real quick since you probably want to see that.
Oh yeah, someone asked if you can invert the.
So you got camera controls, air and water controls. You can change aiming from first person to third person. There are rumble features, motion controls, and of course brightness.
And the regular camera control, can you invert that too?
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm a normal guy, so.
I think people were complaining about. I think Wind Waker didn't have that.
Oh no, yeah, no. Back in the day, GameCube. No, Wind Waker should have had it, but GameCube, the original release of Twilight Princess didn't have that. So you were invert aiming on everything. That was back in the day when the sides were not clearly drawn and folks just forced one way or another on all of us. But here we go.
Here's a fun one. I don't know if you've tested this out yet, but
here we go.
John Devine also asks on Twitter, is the fishing minigame still intact? Is it still there?
I believe it is. It should be. If it was in the original game, there's no reason it should have been removed.
I remember.
I haven't seen any reason to think otherwise.
In the very beginning of the game, you got a fish.
Yeah, just so that this cat will go back home. Yeah.
Yeah. And without the Wii remote, you're just pressing A.
Yeah, you're just pulling back on the stick. It's not that complicated. People did it on GameCube before it was on Wii U. All right, so this is another example of just Brendan. Check this out. Like he's out.
He's like a spider monkey. Look at that.
This is like Nathan Drake status of speed.
I'm so happy with that.
Wait, I haven't set my item, so this is gonna be a problem. I'm just quickly doing that on the fly while I'm also playing the game. All right, I love this part because you're just tossing fools. This little skinny kid is cheating the entire time, but it's okay because no one will know. Get tossed. And that's it.
Krypton Soul says, do you think it lives up to the Ocarina of Time story? I guess saying is, where do you think this ranks in terms of the story?
I mean, Ocarina's in kind of a field all its own, right? Because it's not just a great story told between two different iterations of the same character, but it's a story, it's a game that finds utility for all of the tools you find along the way. I think that's one place where Twilight Princess doesn't measure up in the same way. Like, I mean, there are certain items you're going to pick up that you'll never use again.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad because
thing.
some of the items in this game were pretty inventive. Like
the spinner.
The spinner was hilarious. But like the minion rod, it's like, okay, there's a couple statues in the Hyrule Field you can move around.
Yep.
Have fun.
Absolutely. So we are on our way.
But in terms of story, I think they're actually very different narratives. And I think that this one can find some darkness that was, like you said, was present in Majora's Mask, but it kind of uses it to its own agenda.
Oh, totally, yeah. I mean, there is the case of Arbiter's Ground. Arbiter's Ground, if you're not sure, is a temple you get to right before like a major part of the game. And I forgot all about this. Wait a minute.
You have your bow though.
trying to remember if... I guess I activated this one already.
I don't hear it, Wishley. You probably came from the first time you came through. It was probably...
Yeah, that's how I got the current shield dash attack. So I'm just going to get out of here. I don't have a bow and arrow to fight these guys. We're just going to run up here. Sorry, Brendan. What were we talking about a second ago?
About...
Like, we lapsed the minute I was under fire. Yeah, no, it definitely does its own thing, and I think it does it pretty well, if not really well.
Yeah.
Minda is an awesome sidekick, by the way.
I think Minda's the best sidekick. Yeah, she's the best sidekick, I think, in the Zelda's history, in my opinion. Beats Navi and Fi or Fi.
Definitely.
Even the King of Red Lions.
Yeah, I would say one of its shortcomings, though, is like fighting as the wolf isn't always super fun. And what I mean by that is that whenever you use the B attack on wolf, you know, you're sort of holding this button down and you're waiting for an enemy to come in. And to be in the right position to attack. You know, waiting in a fight isn't always fun.
Yeah, that's true.
That's just it. That's how it works. Oh man, this is just bad luck.
OctoKid Squid says, "Can you use a Pro controller for this, or is it only?"
Yes, you can.
Yay!
Absolutely can. We're gonna need this later. Look at that. Just dropped into the ground. See, and here's kind of a shot where you see some of the limitations of the texture work, because that's definitely there for detail. But from this angle, you can tell it's flat, whereas from some other angles, there appears to be some depth when it first hit. Ooh, okay. So, Death Mountain and me have a bad history, so I'm just gonna keep running until this eruption stops.
At least it's not as bad as Ocarina of Time, where it would just like auto aim at you when you were trying to run the mountain.
It's auto aiming now. What are you talking
now
about?
it is, but those
it's been auto aiming.
Those first ones. Like those ones are the auto aiming ones.
No, totally. Hey. All right, fine. You wanna play? Here we go. All right, we're gonna go upstairs. So you need these guys in order to get up. We should go.
Oh no.
What?
Greg Caldwell asks, "Are we going to use the Ganondorf amiibo?"
Oh, sad fact.
Someone stole it.
No one stole it. It's nothing that nefarious. We actually forgot it home. Me and Brendan, sadly. Yeah, I blame you as part of this. The only one absolved is Ben, who clearly could have sent the email saying, "Hey guys, remember the Ganondorf review?" I'm kidding, Ben. I'm totally kidding.
No, that's our fault.
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, that's the one thing we don't have. If you are familiar, the Ganondorf amiibo will increase damage by double.
But you can then double again by doing hero mode.
Yeah, and that's really tough. If you think that's a joke, you should check out, we have a Cave of Shadows clip on IGN where, in fact, we played it that way because Nintendo kept insisting, and we got crushed.
Nice.
Like, it did not last very long.
So, Cave of Shadows.
Cave of Shadows.
I have to ask you.
Yeah, huh?
Is the Cave of Shadows, as the Wolf Link, literally the Cave of Ordeals, but in wolf form?
Too early to tell.
Too early to tell.
Honestly, yeah, because it opens in pieces, right? So each time you clear the light in the world, that's a way that you can sort of...
Right.
Hang on. Incoming. Ah!
Ouch.
Ouch. All right, this time we're ready for you.
So you're going to have to play more of the game to be able to go back
Basically,
and check it out.
yeah.
Okay.
And you know what the final prize is, right? For the Cave of Shadows? I think you're the one who told me. No? Isn't it the increased wallet?
Yeah, you get the 99,999.
999. That's right.
Wallet.
All the nines.
Which is pretty fun if you get the magic armor and then you're invincible forever because you have so many
that's
rupees.
a cheap hit. Did you see that?
He was waiting for you.
All right, go ahead. Swing. There you go. Now what? All right, here we go. And we're out of here.
When's the game come out? March?
Yeah, I think it's March 3rd in the U.S. If you're in another territory, I do not know the date off the top of my head, but Brendan has this thing called a computer, and he can look it up.
I'm going to Google it.
We made it! Goron Mines, finally. So this is probably one of my favorite dungeons in this game, but first we have to, of course, get permission to be here, so we're going to...
Actually, according to my sources, Jose, the game comes out November 19th, 2006.
Brendan, stop playing these games, bro. This is a stream. All right.
Y'all are no fun.
So I'm going to get wrecked right now because I don't have my boots on. And, of course, here's the Elder. and we have to show him that
But
we
yeah,
are
it's
worthy.
March 4th, actually.
Okay, for Europe as well?
That's a good question.
Yeah. I said March 3rd. I messed up.
March 4th is the one that they have
I'm going to say no.
listed, but you never know with Nintendo. They like changing them dates.
Uh-oh. Are they going to kick me out? Uh-oh. This is bad. All right. Let's go now. No one notices I'm like 10 times heavier. I will challenge you. Yeah, so I usually try to challenge him without the boots on and then hope I can get them on in time before the first slap, and it doesn't happen. So I get, you have no chance. So I decline.
For the Cave of Shadows, is there an entrance that you find, or do you warp to it?
You warp to it. So we're going to have, stick around. We're going to actually mess with that.
Oh, he went from behind.
Dude, he is cheap. Get off me.
Dodge him, dodge him. There you go, dodge him.
Come on.
To the left, to the left, to the left. There you go.
Get slapped. All right, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out.
One more dodge.
Get slapped
yeah,
again.
wow.
Woo! Out. And we're done. I wipe my hands of
Get
this
on my
mess.
level.
All right. You have a strong will and sharp eyes. Yes, I do.
This is a very oddly specific question from Ice 202 Productions.
Uh-oh.
Do you know if the Midna's Desperate Hour music still gets interrupted by enemy music when you have to save her?
That's super specific. I haven't hit that part. Sorry, that's a great question, but I haven't hit that part of the game. I don't mean to seem dismissive.
I'll see if we can.
We'll try and answer that after the fact. Brendan, that's yours.
That's mine.
Yeah,
that's mine.
You're gonna get that answer.
That's mine. I'm gonna jot it down.
Yeah, we're still playing through it for our first time. To be fair, like you can read the review on IGN at some point. And we're in. Goron Mines. Buckle up, Ben.
Here's a fun question I think we should save to show off when we go into the Cave of Shadows.
Okay.
Grace asks, at Rabbit Queen, can you use the Zelda amiibo to replenish hearts in the Cave of Shadows? Or is healing disabled?
Yeah, we can try that. So we're about to get the bow and arrow for the first time. So what I'm going to do, actually, is I'm going to save before we start this temple. And we're actually going to introduce the amiibo that we have on this table.
Yay!
And then show people sort of how they work and see what, in fact, we can and can't get away with. So let's save this here.
Bye, Shardy. Thank you for tuning in.
Yep.
Hope you enjoyed.
Yeah, thanks for watching. All right, so we're going to continue playing. And so what I'm going to do is go over to the collections page, and you'll see here the amiibo branding is right there. So we're going to start out with, actually, why don't you transition the camera over here, Ben. So we have, here, you can help with this. So we have the Wolf Link amiibo here, which is for unlocking Cave of Shadows. We have Sheik. We also have Zelda, Link, and Toon Link from the Smash series. So we're going to go into the Cave of Shadows. So we're going to take this, and we're going to scan this right here. Ben, if you could switch us back over. And we're going to be asked, okay, please register and nickname this amiibo. So we didn't do that part yet. So we're just going to quickly do that because this is probably what's going to happen to yours at home. I'm not going to give him a clever name. Instead, I'm just gonna, for the sake of keeping this
call it Dog Imp.
Too late.
Imp Dog.
Too late. All right.
Little pepperoni.
So now that we've registered, it's saying, please touch your amiibo to the Wii U gamepad. So we got that. Cave of Shadows opens up just like that. So you actually save your game and begin Cave of Shadows. It's treated almost like separate content, pretty much. So we're going to save here at Goron Mines again. We're going to stop. We're right at the start of the dungeon, so I don't feel committed yet, because you know the Otero rule when it comes to dungeons, right?
What's the Otero rule?
Do not enter unless you're going to finish the entire thing. And we're going to challenge ourselves to finish
these are essential words for life here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just like in real life.
I'm going to let him hit me, and we're going to try to replenish some hearts with Zelda. And this is a bad time. So let's get rid of this guy. Ooh.
I feel like you could put that on a poster, Jose, that
what?
You should never enter a dungeon unless you're going to beat it.
Unless you're going to finish it. Yeah. Like, that's kind of how I approach these things.
That's kind of how you should approach life.
You can say. So we have 3 hearts. We lost 1. I'm just going to go over here. I'm going to swipe Zelda. And look at the gamepad. Hearts have been replenished. It says on the gamepad. So when we go back,
look at that, 4 hearts.
So I'm going to make sure I take a little more damage and try to use it again. Just to see if you're locked in for uses. My knee-jerk answer is probably no. but we'll see.
Catherine on YouTube asks, but where even is the Cave of Shadows? It's in a place outside of time and space that you can only get to with the amiibo. You warp to it directly.
Put it on the timeline. That's right. What he said.
It does not have a place on the map that you can just run into like the other cave.
So you can play it in waves. Clearly, we're doing the first wave here. This is my first time through this part. Let's just go through these guys. Actually, I'm going to take a little damage here.
McClure Jared says, never played the original. Is there any major differences, or is it like Ocarina of Time 3D where only the controls change? There are a few changes here and there. Largely, the narrative story is still the same. But like, a couple mechanics have been smoothed and streamlined.
Just sped up, really.
Yeah, some things got sped up. Like
even the gamepad stuff, just switching through your inventory, having 3 buttons for
being able to change
items.
between Wolf Link on the fly.
Yep. Which we can't do yet because we're not at that point in the game.
Being able to warp from the minimap option. Not having a notification every time you pick up rupees in a chest. Things like that.
Yep.
There's also a couple of new items. There's a lantern, I believe, that seeks out Pose.
Taking Zelda again. Let's do this. And this amiibo has already been used today.
You
so
got
this
caught
is a
cheating.
one-time thing. That's what it says. You're only replenishing those hearts once a day.
Never prosper.
Although, hang on, we could do it technically with Sheik.
Oh, man, you still find a way to cheat. I can't believe you.
So you got 2 chances a day, kids, as long as it's your amiibo. If not, invite your friends.
A question from XRez Inc. 97 says, what is your favorite dungeon in the game?
So I'm still going through it now, but I'm going to let you answer first, Brendan.
Wow, really?
Yeah, why not?
Because it is so similar to the Forest Temple, the...
Arbiter's Ground?
No, the mansion.
Oh, wait, that's not similar to Forest Temple. What are you talking about?
It's similar
You're
because...
talking about Snow Peak?
Yes, Snow Peak.
Snow Peak?
The
okay,
mansion.
I'm going to let you finish. Go.
Not in not in the mechanical sense of the pose and the boss fight, in the mechanical sense of the atmosphere and how it is a dungeon built out of a ruined home. The Forest Temple is kind of like a ruined home that has been turned into this weird topsy-turvy dungeon design.
See, because that's the thing. When you mention the Forest Temple, I see more of that in Arbiter's Ground,
that's
which
exactly
has
true.
4 spirits that steal away a light. So we finished the first leg of this Cave of Shadow, by the way.
Nice.
So now we're clear to leave.
But I'm all about dungeon atmosphere and how they design their levels. And it was so unique, and it had a little bit of that homage to the Forest Temple that I really enjoyed it.
Yep.
Plus, I just love the...
Oh, they kept track that we used the
2 times.
Yeah, twice, to our shame. That was for you. That wasn't for us.
Of course.
So we're going to save the data to the Wolf Link amiibo, which we're going to do right now.
I also love Yeto and Yeta.
Nice.
And the way they send you on fetch quests.
Okay. No, because, I was going to say, Snow Peak is really awesome just because, slight spoiler, run now. Okay. You are being lied to the entire time, for the most part. And I find that a very, very cool idea for a dungeon. Even though there is backtracking, they kind of make it something that you can understand why it's happening, simply because of that. So I think that's really cool. But yeah, I have a few favorites. This is definitely on the list. I love this dungeon. Simply because there's so many different tools that work here, like using the boots to trigger not only different switches, but at one point you're walking on the ceiling.
Mm-hmm. I love Iron Boots too. The Pepper77 says, how much is the game going to cost? It will be $60. That includes...
With the amiibo.
With the amiibo.
Yeah, without it, I believe it's $50.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so just for your education. Uh-oh, hang on. That guy's about to shoot some of me.
The Cave of Shadows, Caviar Bob, is a gauntlet style where you have to descend through levels, fighting on a giant assortment of enemies that they get harder as you go deeper, and you have very limited opportunities to heal up.
They get more difficult.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Cool. All right, we're almost done here.
So that was our first You Got a Red Rupee.
Yep, that was my first one. So, well, I got it from a chest though, so that you're always gonna get those. I mean, they don't. Those don't go away.
Oh yeah, I remember because the Twilight Princess, when you pick them up off the ground, they still do that.
Yes, yeah, they don't do that anymore. So that's just to be clear. All right, let's activate the switch and get it moving. Oh, this is evil because they drop 2 of those little guys.
That's why you gotta clear it out first before you try.
Yeah, I should have cleared it first. This was a bad idea.
Oh, they have that fire aura.
Well, that's what makes it tough. Nah, I'm gonna just redo
you can
it.
Nah. Did they change any of the puzzles in this game? No, the puzzles are still the ones you remember.
But they did change one specific thing. Because of the way hero mode works, you cannot swap between it on the fly the way you would have in Wind Waker HD. The idea being that you're flipping the entire game around is apparently... Oh, you saw that. Pro skills.
Right, I see.
Pro strats. That's what we do. This is also the only Zelda that I can think of, 3D Zelda, where you can do this.
I love it.
You're allowed to run and have your sword ready to do damage. I didn't remember that you can like swing that way either, like by holding.
Yeah. Shmurgle 2 asks, so the Cave of Shadows is basically the secret challenge dungeon from the original. In a sense, it is the Cave of Ordeals, but you are limited to being Wolf Link.
Yes,
you can't be your humanly self.
Yeah. Handsome, humanly self.
With his wonderful spin attacks and bows and arrows.
You get to unleash the teeth. That's what you do. Alright, so here we are. Goron Mines. And we're about to get our first trip on the ceiling soon. This is, of course, the big sort of foreshadowing. Those things are going to move.
Good question.
Okay.
From Whedon fans at Colson DE on Twitter.
Hi.
Who asks, can you disable the some of the HUD elements, like the part on the left which says minimap collection /save? He wants to see the beautiful game, but not that beautiful text.
No, you cannot customize the HUD. That is a good question. Not a thing. I can totally see why. The only customization you can actually do is right down... Well, hang on, let me fix that. Oh. So down here, that mini-map is all you can take away. Everything else stays up. That's a great question, too, because in Skyward Sword, you can minimize a lot of the HUD elements.
Yeah.
But I feel like in that game, a lot of them were designed to be a little hand-holdy for new people, whereas... You know, I do want to know what button is mapped to what.
Yeah, but you did notice that when we were in combat, they actually disappeared on the left side.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thankfully, it's not always there if you're not a fan of seeing the text there. It does go away.
You also
and when you're first person, it goes away too.
Yeah, but you can't walk around in it. So they do go away there. The only thing that stays is hearts. Hope that answers your question. And here we go. All right, Brendan. So, wait, did we answer all our favorite dungeons? Because I brought up Snow Peak. I feel like this one's
You didn't
really
answer
good
your
one.
favorite dungeon.
The water temple is fantastic. This is one of the first water temples that I feel I did not hear the world cry out in anguish and pain over. I thought I didn't have a problem with the last 2 water temples though. So I'm the vocal minority.
I like that they kept it pretty simple, where it was the mechanic was you just had these rooms with water currents, and you just had to change them and then go to each side and kind of drop more water currents down. It wasn't like here's 5 levels and you gotta raise and lower it all the time. Yep. I think that took off some of the
but
heat.
You can get lost. Last night, in fact, I've gone through that dungeon and it's been no problem, and I've also gone through that dungeon and it took me a lot longer than I feel it should have. Just pointing that out.
XBlade9X says, so with the Gandalf amiibo, it makes the game hero mode × 2.
Ah!
Yes, you take double damage. You can use it with hero mode to make it ×4.
Yeah, ×4. That's some brave Zelda play right there.
We're live, Matthew. Look, I can see your name. I'm seeing you. I'm talking to you live right now at 1:49 p.m.
We have a little lag, but we are live. That's right. And we'll be here for how much longer?
About an hour and 10 minutes.
All right, good. That's plenty of time to finish this dungeon and continue the Otero tradition.
Good.
Yeah, so that means if it's super late at night, I think twice before starting a dungeon because I will not stop.
It's definitely good advice.
Yeah. I mean, why not finish what you start?
Yeah. Especially if it's an overly long dungeon with puzzles and you quit. You come back and you're like, where was I? What puzzle was I doing?
Well, that's always been my problem. I do think, though, that Zelda has gotten better at saving your information and making it a little clearer. Or just giving you more opportunities to do that stuff. But I'm very old school in that way, that even though they've improved there, I want to finish it on that first sitting. And I didn't want to do that. So let's grab this. Let's pull back. And so the trick here being you have to double check on the state of those things. And we gotta go. Gotta go right now.
Robbery COVID on Twitter asks, can Link switch his sword and shield hands? Like sword in the right hand?
When you switch to hero mode, you are switching it for him. So you are playing as right-handed Link if you enable hero mode. So that'll follow the Wii version, whereas normal mode follows the GameCube version. And we were there! Our first time on the ceiling.
Oh boy!
I love this part. Yeah, look at the detail on these interiors. I feel like even for assets that were primarily made for 2006, like there was a lot of thought put into some of these. Like, did you ever notice the first time you open some of the temple doors, like it's the only time you see debris scatter from the door itself, whereas if you reopen that same door, none of that happens. There's little touches like that. I feel like they've always
dust
had.
Of a long
yeah, like this
unused.
door is going to do it. You'll just see the small, okay, all that debris fell, but then every other time you open that door, I've never seen it happen again.
Do it.
Just again to point it out.
It's been decluttered.
Yes. Dusty stay.
There was a question I saw and I lost
forgot it. Sorry about that. Here's our first elder.
You hate me? Why do you hate me? What have we done to you, Game Changer? It's kind of mean. It was a question about the lantern. I don't know who said it, and I'm sorry I lost your name in the clutter.
The lantern? Which lantern?
The Poe lantern.
Oh.
Do you know where you can get?
No, I haven't got it in the regular game yet. I have been hunting Poes though.
I wonder.
But I did not go back to check the gentleman who needs the help for hunting Poes, so maybe he's the one who gives it to you. I'm not sure. And we got our dungeon map.
Justin Davis says, does this game still have the bridge battle with the Boko?
Is that our
King?
Justin Davis?
That's,
like IGN?
That is doppelganger Justin Davis, and you just missed it, Justin Davis, because that little cutscene happened right in the beginning of the stream.
I missed it. What did he ask? Sorry.
About the bridge battle.
Oh.
But there is one more bridge battle in this game, and that's also in the game. In this
yeah,
version.
It's gonna be a ways out though. Yeah. I hope you're not gonna expect us to do that now. Sorry, not happening. All right, let's get where we need to go. Oh.
Does the Ganondorf amiibo make heart stop spawning, or is that only hero modes?
No, it's only hero mode.
Okay.
Ganondorf amiibo just activates the double damage. We'd love to show it to you, but we're human, and we left it home.
Left it at home. A lot of shaking heads around here.
A lot of them. Ugh, so much judgment on this stream. I can't handle it.
Here's a fun little glitch if you want to try and...
I'm not glitching. What do you want me to do?
Can you still walk on the ceiling without the iron boots, aka unequip the boots as you fall upwards?
Not trying this now. Sorry, we'll see.
Jose is
no
not
comment.
a glitch.
I'm not into
man.
science. Yeah, I'll practice at home. I'll get back to you.
This does bring up one of my how does that work in video games?
Oh, the hat?
No, you take the iron boots and put them in your pocket, but they're no longer working, but you still have them.
I guess that's true.
Unless he puts them in an alternate dimension.
And there we go. We went flying.
It's kind of like how you can swim, but you can't with the iron boots, but you put it in your pocket and you can swim now because the weight is somehow gone.
Yep. Yeah, I love this idea too
games.
because this is something that I feel like the Galaxy team, I don't know if they were working on that, how far along they were on Galaxy at the time that this was sort of getting put together. But I love the idea that this, I kind of credit this as the first time I had seen in a Nintendo 3D game, the idea of platforming on this, or moving around on a ceiling. And just that Mario Galaxy came along and took this even further and put like a challenging platformer on top of that has always been something that I was grinning ear to ear when I played that game the first time and did that stuff for the first time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I especially love how you can, when you get the bow and arrow, you can use it upside down.
Yes, and we're about to get the bow and arrow soon, so
such a cool
we're
feature.
Actually working on that right now. Yeah, the only downside being obviously you're traveling slower, but it's all good. Oh, I gotta say though, I'm surprised his hat stays in this position in this shot, but in later shots, it will stay like at a downward position. So it is defying gravity to an extent. Oh, 2006. Did you not think we'd notice? All right, there we go. And we're moving.
X-Blade and X has another question. I read
Sure.
there are less tiers of light to clear in Twilight area.
That's
Is this
right.
true?
Yes,
that is
it is
true.
true. several, just a few shorter than before. That's cool. You still have to find them. Also, you pick them up faster, just in case you didn't know that. So we talked about this earlier, but if you were picking up a Tear of Light in the original release, you have to kind of wait until a certain point in the animation to be able to grab it.
Because they like go up in the air for a bit and then they come down.
This whole performance that happens. Exactly, Brendan.
Yeah, the little parade. CBW86, did you guys say if the game still has that inverted X-axis, you can change it in the controls now?
The future
you can change
is now.
that and swimming. Looking and swimming and running.
There we go. All right, so we're using these. What is that made of? Some kind of ore, I guess. But here we go.
Magnetic ore.
Yes. Don't leave me. Oh, just got there. Wait, is this where I need to go? I feel like it isn't. It is. All right, this is where I need to be. Just making sure.
To answer your question, Jose Vasquez, there is a new lantern that detects pose. We don't know where it is in the game yet.
You gotta read his question out loud, though. You didn't give him the full treatment.
Says it is true that you can pick up the Poe lanterns. Please answer my question. I really want to know, and please try it out.
Oh, okay.
That was
now you answer the question.
And
what do you
to
got?
That question, I answer, there is a Poe lantern that you can get somewhere in this game that detects Poes that are nearby.
I just went back to where I didn't want to be. Sorry, I knew I was doing this wrong. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But
Continue.
we don't know where it is. It's somewhere hidden
at
in
least
this
I
game.
haven't found it. I have failed you.
It may have taken the place of another chest object. I know they did that with a couple of things in Wimker HD where a couple of heart pieces and maps were kind of changed and swapped out.
Well, and they're doing that with this game too. In that, oh wait, let's wait for this thing to come pick me up. They're doing that in this game too, where oh, see, now it's upside down. The hat that defies gravity when it wants to. Yeah, no, we're not sure. Some chests did get changed so that you're getting a Miiverse stamp instead inside of dungeons. So just a quick pay, like in case you didn't know. Oof. All right, that went well. Let's get that going. Here comes our next ride. Getting out of here.
Odin2023 asks, "Where's my GameCube controller support?" Where is it, Jose? Somehow I'm making you responsible for this.
I mean, I think that is and isn't a reasonable request. I get it. Like, you probably bought a GameCube controller and your GameCube controller adapter, but I think people underestimate some of the jury-rigging that goes into some of this stuff. And
that's true.
You know, it takes time. So, sadly, not an option. What can I say? You'll live.
Sad,
Pro
but
controller's good.
Them's the breaks.
Yeah. Gotta agree, though. Loved my GameCube controller.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. That's what I want to do. All right. So, Brendan, I had a question for you. Actually, I guess I should ask you this one. All right.
Sure, let's go.
Name it right here. Favorite Zelda.
Oh, man.
Let's go.
Let's go. That's an easy one.
Let's go. What is the Brendan Graber favorite Zelda? Give me the top three.
Oh, now you're doing top three. Okay.
Just to give you some wiggle room. If not, and you want to go definitives, we can do that.
I don't need wiggle room.
Oh, excuse me.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again.
All right. What do you got?
Twilight. Not Twilight. Sorry. Link to the Past is my favorite Zelda game of all time.
Okay.
I love the story. I love the direction. I love the music. Dark World is the best, the funnest, the coolest feeling. Going to that Dark World for the first time and seeing the scope of what you can do and explore. I love the dungeon designs. Soundtrack is great. Second would have to be. Second usually depends on my taste at this point in time. It juggles between Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. I think a lot of people have a similar thing with that, where it's one over the other, and I kind of go between them for different reasons.
Sure.
I love the tone of Majora's Mask. I love the overall adventure of Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
But those are my top three.
Got it.
What about you, Mr.
Oh,
Taro?
dude. That's a hard question.
You asked it. You got to be able to answer it.
I only wanted to hear yours. I didn't want to give my own. No, I feel like it changes over time, right? And it changes depending on which one I've played. more recently.
Mm-hmm.
Like up until recently, a lot of folks who know me know that I am a big fan of Wind Waker. I think that is probably easily at the top of my list consistently, if not all the time. But you know, I've recently rediscovered that love for Ocarina of Time that I thought had kind of gone away a little bit, just because of time and age. Well, no, you do kind of forget. But I've been playing through that recently for some work projects as well, and it's like, well, this game's actually still pretty awesome.
It's fun to go back and revisit older titles and to see not just how they've aged, but kind of like how the story has grown and like you've forgotten some parts of it.
And also, there's that thing where, like, when you're a kid, right? There's this cartoon you watched every day, and you swore by it, and you lived by it, and it was every bit amazing. But sometimes when you get older, that thing just was not that good.
Or sometimes you finally realize a joke that they've been telling the whole time, and it was meant for adults, and now you finally get it, and you're like, hey.
Yeah. So I feel like the older I get, the more I go back to check. But Majora's Mask is definitely high on that list. Wind Waker is definitely high on that list, and Ocarina of Time are definitely high on that list.
I'd have to say that
it's a tough list to call because there's great stuff. I mean, Skyward has its moments. So does, in fact, Twilight Princess, which I think has some of the best dungeons they've done. Again, so it's really hard.
I have to say the one quote that has aged in the similar fashion to those cartoon jokes that go over your head as a kid. The one that identifies with me now that I didn't understand as a kid was the creepy son of the carpenter in Kakariko Village, who appears at night and he says, "People are disgusting. My own father and mother are disgusting. You must be disgusting too."
Oh yeah.
And now as an adult, I'm like, I agree so much with that sentiment.
That's just why? Because it's emo. Like, hang on. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
It sometimes when I feel apathetic and like I hate the world and life.
Oh no, totally. Yeah,
self-depreciating humor.
I was supposed to go get the key first, so I'm just gonna keep it moving, keeping it moving.
Ooh, hello. On Twitter, Justin Weisner's calling you out. He says, "Hey, Jose said that last year. You said last year that it wasn't the right time for Twilight Princess HD.
Yeah.
Do you still believe this is now or not the right time?"
I still think it's not the right time. Like, I think that Zelda has... but I'm not going to hold that against a great game. No, I think that Zelda has gotten enough attention, and when you're talking about franchise care, there are some franchises Nintendo's sitting on that they are not giving the same amount of, care and attention to. So I completely stand by my statements. What's his name?
That was Justin Weisner.
Justin, I completely stand by what I said before.
But
thanks for writing in and watching the stream. Yeah. Ooh, hats defying gravity again.
Hey Ben, what definition are we streaming this game in right now? It's 1080. Wolf Link, who says, "Is this game 1080? Right? You guys streaming at 720? No, we're streaming at 1080."
Just from the producer. Repeat that.
The producer says we are one of the few channels that actually streams at 1080.
So you're getting it exactly.
Make sure to turn your quality settings up on your computer.
Yep. Of course, connection speeds may vary.
Yeah, I have it streaming right now at a very low quality, just so it doesn't slow down my laptop.
All right, so I'm gonna talk to this gentleman, brother.
These old Gorons are creepy.
Give me the key, brother. All right, that's 2. I need 1 more.
Why were they waiting in here?
Well, so they had to lock in.
Oh yeah,
their
I remember that now.
Yeah, Darbus. They locked them up and they stayed inside holding 3 different pieces of a key. I guess we should.
That's the one thing I would call not it for. You gotta go into this creepy dungeon, seal your friend up, and then just chill out here until a hero comes and rescues you.
Yeah, and you also have to clear this part of the game because you're repairing the relationship humans have with Gorons at this point in the game too, and without that you can't get bombs. So they kind of justify a lot of things that way.
Hey Ben, Wolflink wants to know: is it 30 FPS or 60?
30. Yeah,
we're streaming 30.
Is a 30 FPS game. Here we go. Yeah, I was just playing this part on Sunday. How funny to be
Grace
doing
on Twitter says, no love for Minish Cap?
Never had a ton of love for Minish Cap, I have to say. I know some folks who swear by it.
Yeah, me too. I respect what it did, and people who love it for a good reason.
Yeah, no, and there's some cool handheld entries, like Link's Awakening is fantastic.
Oh,
That's another one that it's hard not to put it in the top 3 or 4 sometimes because it's so original.
I've been playing it again on my 3DS, like on trips
Altano
and
just
stuff.
did too, actually. You guys should talk.
It's I really love the dungeon progression, and especially some of the music in that game. The Windfish ballad still haunts me whenever I hear it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, totally. All right, here we go. So this is for an important relic that we need. We're gonna get the hero's bow next. So sometimes I screw up on this fight.
This is a fun fight.
Yeah, it is a fun fight. But it's more fun if you don't screw up.
Well said.
Yeah, which I can sometimes do.
Hi, the Daniel
Human.
YT.
What business does a human have here? So here we go.
Joman394 asks, can you guys give a better description of the dungeon that the Wolf Link amiibo unlocks? The video that I saw wasn't super clear.
You want to take this one?
I'll take this one. We were at the fight.
Yeah, I'm a little busy.
So when you tap this on your gamepad, you will be able to save your game and teleport to this dungeon, which looks a lot like the Cave of Ordeals if you played Twilight Princess before. It is a gauntlet-style dungeon that you get to go deeper as you've unlocked more light areas in the game. You are only able to use the Wolf Link when you're in this dungeon. You can't turn into regular Link, and you have to clear it as far as you can get. There are very limited opportunities to heal. You can use the Sheik and Zelda amiibos to give yourself 2 heals, and then once you clear it, you will be able to save your progress. You have your high score. It tracks the amiibo that you've used. Plus, you get a reward, which is a giant wallet that lets you store, I think it's like 9,909 rupees. Plus, you can then use your Wolf Link amiibo to regenerate however many hearts you survive that Cave of Shadows with. I hope that is...
and you did it all within that boss fight.
Whew.
I like it. We were like a well-oiled machine here. You handled the question, I handled the boss. And boy, did he get handled. All right, now we got the hero's bow. Thanks for the question. Of course, we appreciate it. And thanks for watching the stream.
Here's a interesting question that I didn't think about. Tracy Evans asked, any hope for a Toon Link game on the NX? Do you think we'll ever revisit that style?
I don't want to go the wishy-washy.
Not the wishy-washy, but I enjoyed the Wind Waker style, and I would love to see it come back someday.
I would too.
It's obviously not going to come back for the next Zelda the game.
Sure, sure.
And, you know, it may be relegated to like a spin-off title or whatever, but Toon Link is a very beloved iteration of Link. And
sure.
I would hate for Wind Waker to be his only... I mean, he had some spin-off games too, but as far as like a mainline game, I would love to revisit, maybe not even revisiting the Wind Waker universe in the flooded Great Sea, but just that style.
Yeah, no, and we talk about it a lot on MVC, which is a podcast we have here at IGN called Nintendo Voice Chat. And on it, this question comes up every once in a while. I always get a little, or sometimes I get a little dismissive of them, only because we get a lot of wish lists from people.
You're not a speculative man.
Questions. No, I love speculation. Like, it's just, it does eventually become exhausting.
It's true.
And that's why. But no, I agree. I think there are plenty of instances or cases where you can revive a certain style of Zelda. So obviously we're aiming at first person. So you can check that out because we just got the hero's bow.
BBR does not like Wind Waker. He says no more.
Yeah, no. I mean, you can always. There are a lot of different directions you can go, right? It's ultimately up to what do these guys want to accomplish. For example, like I can't help but wonder sometimes, does New Zelda have anything to do with this game, just because, or is the amiibo thing just marketing? Like, is there something very specific? The clip we saw at E3, the one arrow shot heard around the world, as I like to call it, the hero's bow is the same as the one that he's holding in this game, and stylistically that item doesn't change very often, but it almost makes you wonder, like, does it have some relevance to this game?
Yeah.
And we're going to see, So I'm using motion controls. If you don't like motion controls, sorry, but
hey,
I'm
YouTube.
actually pretty good with them.
I'm gonna address the YouTube crowd for a moment.
Oh yeah, hi YouTube.
If you want us to talk to you, you should ask some pretty cool questions. If you fish for shoutouts, we're probably not going to answer them.
Yeah.
Cool questions, like Sophie Plays, who asked what our favorite boss is. And let's say in Twilight Princess.
Depends on the game. Oh, Twilight Princess?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not fair.
I have to say Zant.
Yeah?
It was such an abstract, hilarious battle that was both frightening and funny at the same time.
Okay.
Plus, they remixed the dungeon boss music from earlier bosses in a really clever way, and I've rarely, if ever, heard of a boss fight that remixes previous boss fights musics.
Okay.
And a really
so it's a cover album.
like
it's a cover album and a boss fight. I like that. No, there's just so many. That's why I sit here and I'm like, oh, that's such a tough question. Because I think each game has its particular boss where you're like, yes, that was awesome. My favorite thing though in Twilight Princess is the way the music flares up in an attempt to tell you, hey, hero, this is your time to shine.
What about in terms of creature design in this game?
Creature design.
Like the best boss in terms of their
I like
looks.
the boss inside of this dungeon right here.
Very Balrog.
Because oh yeah, no, totally. He's the Balrog, but as a Goron.
The Balrog.
Yeah, Balrog. So Motion Jesus. Oh yeah. So that was that. I will say, still got it. I'm gonna get rid of that. Grab this. I'm just gonna switch the arrow over to X, and the reason I'm doing that is because using the using motion or just using your aim controls, cancel is actually tied to A, so sometimes it's a bit of a reach if you have it on Y.
LLJ Pev says, sorry to interrupt you.
Oh no, sure, please.
In the original Twilight Princess, you could walk around while aiming as long as you held the target button, which I'm assuming is your L target. Can you still do that?
It. Yeah, we'll try it. Just let me handle these guys real quick.
Doesn't even carry in his tail.
Yeah, but that's not first. Like I think Wind Waker HD did it best, where you were able to whip out this bow and then just start moving around.
Can you walk backwards?
Of course you can walk backwards. You can river dance.
Yeah, you can walk around in third person.
That's what we're doing here.
But you can't have that.
This is where we've come. This is what we've devolved to. Ben isn't even responding. Ben, are you alive? I can switch it if you want. Let me just get to the question screen. Let's go to third-person aiming, shall we?
So Ben,
our producer,
wants us to go to third-person aiming and try that again.
Sure. Nope. Yeah, well, remember, that's how your Wii basically worked, too.
Yeah.
So, still worth it for science. Totally worth it for science. Let's activate this. Whoa, I forgot about that. And I have used all the arrows. What am I doing?
Rage and Play on YouTube asks, do you prefer the GameCube, Wii, or Wii U version of the game? I think it's a little too early for the Wii U. We'll give it a bit of time.
In terms of preference, yeah, wait to the review, I would say.
In terms of Wii versus GameCube, though.
We're upside down.
Yeah.
That's Brendan's favorite moment.
Wii or GameCube, though? Which of those two did you like better?
I think GameCube was the definitive version until potentially now.
I think it was.
The entire game was designed with those controls in mind. I know people love their flailing and their sword swinging, and
I love my flailing.
I'm not disagreeing with you. Like I even like what they did with that in Skyward Sword, which is always a risky thing to bring up because you have folks who really didn't like it. And total respect to those guys. Like I get it. You didn't want to use motion control for combat, but there are other things that game does outside of combat that was pretty cool.
The Super Boss 26 asks question: did they fix how ridiculously slow Link climbs? Yes, they did.
Yes.
He is now a spider monkey.
Yeah, he climbs much faster. Whoa, we're moving. All right, that's done. And I'm at a loss for where I'm supposed to go right now.
Robbery COVID on Twitter knows what's up. He says, "Blind from Link Between Worlds is my favorite boss. Also from Link to the Past." But yeah, I love that boss fight and that character. Yep. The way you had to smoke him out.
Oh, it's this way. Okay. No, I had to just do a quick assessment. Where am I supposed to be going right now? Because I completely forgot. Oh, and then there's these guys, which are really. So hang on. I'm a bigger fan of aiming in first person, so we're gonna let this go. Sorry, guys. First person. Oh no, I hit B. That probably didn't save. It didn't.
There's an interesting question from Nate Buckman on Twitter.
All right, what do you got, Nate?
I know you've had some different feelings on the remaster HD treatment of Nintendo properties.
Who?
You.
Oh, yeah. So what do you got?
So, that being said, are there any, not just Zelda, but in terms of Nintendo properties, is there any that you would actually want to see get that HD treatment?
Oh, man. Easy answer. Yes. Yeah, sure. You have your F-Zeros. You have GX is a game that was fantastic that, lives on GameCube, and you can play it there. But I think that would be a cool game for today's audience. The question is, would it make money? Then you've got, stuff like Sunshine that people have been asking for. That is a game that was fantastic and could use some touching up.
Yeah.
From a gameplay perspective, maybe a little more so than Twilight Princess, to be honest. I only get turned off a little bit by the constant wish list that is what being a Nintendo fan seems to entail.
We love our wish lists.
Yeah, it's always a wish list, and I definitely don't mean to put that down on folks, because there are definitely opportunities to continue some of these stories, because some of them are really good. Like, what happens after Wind Waker? What happens after, does Colin grow up to be a person like Link in Twilight Princess? Like, I would love to find out in some instances. And who knows? Like, will next Zelda sort of have?
Careful.
Oh no, I know about that. I just wanted to get rid of him.
Someone wants us to, after you finish sniping these guys, to replenish our arrows with the use of Link.
Sure, we can do that. Ooh, I didn't think that last one was gonna hit, or that one.
They went to the Stormtrooper Academy of targeting.
I did. Oh no,
yeah, they did.
They did. All right, so let's replenish. So you got to go over the collection screen first, and then you tap, and it's a wrap. Arrows have been replenished. I'm sorry, Brendan. I don't prepare you sometimes for these really lame follow-ups that I have waiting for you. I know they catch Ben by surprise every time. So, that's bad. Why did I swing at that?
Potato King left us and then returned on Twitter and let us
you.
know. So we're glad you could stick around. We still got about 40 minutes left.
Motion Jesus fail. Did you see that? I missed. Wait, is there a guy up here? Oh, he looks over. So I'm just gonna move this.
Kitty the She Geek says, "What is your favorite item in Twilight Princess?"
Ooh.
I know it doesn't have much of a use outside of the dungeon, but I love the spinner. It is such an insane item, and it makes the boss fight so much fun.
Okay.
I remember a couple years after this game came out, my cousin from Boston was visiting us.
Okay.
And there was one night, the night before he had to leave, was the same night that a particularly World of Warcraft expansion was coming out, and I was into it back then.
Okay.
So I went to a midnight release and dragged him along for no real reason, and we got the game, and I came back and I'm like, okay, Adam, I'm sorry, I'm going to be playing this for the next 12 hours, and it's already like midnight.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, I'll play Twilight Princess, whatever. And he, in that span, before he had to leave, and I was playing World of Warcraft, he got all the way to the Arbiter dungeon, and yeah, I know.
Wow. That's skills right there.
Yeah, and he had never played it before either. That was his first time playing. He got to the Arbor Dungeon, we got to the spinner fight, and he was like laughing so hard, and we just kept singing that boss fight theme music. It's so catchy, and
nice.
The spinner like pinball thing was just, I think, one of the funnest boss fights in this game.
I like it. Very, very cool. Good story.
Favorite item for you?
For favorite item?
Yes.
Oh, that's tough. I need to really think about it. Honestly, I like the boots a lot. Not in that you use them a lot, but that I think walking on the ceiling is probably one of the coolest, most early. And they pull that trick out so early, and you're just like, okay, if they're pulling this out now, what are they gonna pull out later? Oh, I forgot about him.
Careful.
Oof.
You can use the boots whenever you want.
You can.
I happen to know of a couple of people who stream this game, and they like to oppose challenges, and one of them is using the iron boots at all times, which makes the game incredibly stubborn and slow and challenging, especially if you're already playing, like, say, hero mode with Ganondorf amiibo, so you're already taking double damage. Let's add slow mobility to that, and trying to take on a Dark Nut with iron boots is the craziest thing you can do in this game.
I can imagine. Yeah, no, it's one of those item uses that, like, from the minute it happens, you're just like, man, this is such a cool idea, really? And then they put it away for a while. Actually, I think they put it away for the whole game, which is one of my One of the things that does let me down a little bit about,
well, I mean,
like the spinner is another classic example of that, right? A very cool, like, one-time only and then not again.
You get to have some uses for it in the water temple before you're able to, get down on the ground. Before you get the Zora's tunic. There's some points where you kind of need to drop down into the water and walk around to open a chest up that you couldn't do if you were swimming around. So the iron boots still have a couple of uses. But yeah, it's... Oh, we're at the boss.
We made it. Darbus, here we come. But before we go
in... fairy in a bottle?
Yeah, so I have one in a bottle already, and then I have some juice. This is kind of something, and this is going to sound so silly, but this is something I hope that goes away a little bit in next Zelda. And I know some people be like, heresy. Like, what are you talking about? Oh, wait. I didn't get the last key piece.
Tyler Hudson.
I think I forgot the last key piece. That's so bad if I did that. Did I make it all the way here and forget the key? Ben, how did you let this happen?
Well, look at me. I'm answering questions.
Ben, how did you let this happen? Oh, man. Really, guys? Oh, I was so excited to fight that boss. How much time do we have left?
We still have 40 minutes. Tyler Hudson was questioning...
we have a lot of time. I didn't realize I was going through like this.
The somewhat steep price of a remaster being $60, but you have to remember, Tyler Hudson, that $60 also gets you the Wolf Link amiibo. If you don't get the bundle, it's $10 cheaper.
It's $10 cheaper. But you could then make the argument, like one of the common arguments I hear is... for example, take something like the Uncharted collection, which is, a bunch of games at a value price or at a better price, some would argue. I would just say, like, this kind of just fits in with Nintendo's philosophy on games, which is that they don't see them as cheap and they don't try to sell them as cheap.
Yeah. How often do you see Zelda games go on sale?
Yeah, or any first-party Nintendo game go on sale. It goes on sale when it's not doing well, like, at the end of the day. And
I think you can still buy Mario Galaxy at Target for $20.
I think the consumer has to make the call, right? And if you're looking at Zelda Twilight Princess and saying, this isn't doing it for me, then, as a consumer, you have every right to pass.
Yeah.
But if you're someone who's more like, I don't mind the steep price, I mean, this is kind of this is not the first time, that they've kind of pulled this. And I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying that, there is sort of this culture of like, well, I could get this, I'll get it cheap. And it's like, well, sometimes something's not available cheap. Like, that's just how it goes. So I missed that last key. I am so disappointed. I don't even remember where it is. Like, this is bad.
Look at your map.
I always
What's the grayed out area on your map that you've never been to?
I've been to almost every room.
You need to go...
so it's probably first floor. Nope. How did I miss it? I'm 2 of 3. It's got to be near this vicinity.
Wait, isn't it in there? It's in there.
Where?
Right down there, where that chest icon is.
Oh, you're kidding. Really?
I mean, what else would be in their room?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Dude, you know how far away that is?
You gotta hike.
All right.
I really like this
never
comment.
happened to me before. This is like degraded. No, it's not. It's not that.
You gotta revoke your gamer status.
That's not that. It's just more like, I'm usually really good at these. I don't ever fall behind. I talk some big talk about Zelda on our podcast. I don't know if you've heard.
I love this comment from Caviar Barb on Twitch.
Yep.
Is it strange that one of the main reasons I never wanted to play Wind Waker years ago was because of the kid with the snot running down? I was really bothered by that.
That's a strange choice, but respect.
Just be careful if you play the HD version, because that snot is also in HD.
Yeah, and it's not kidding around. Bye. I'm just going to run by these guys because I can. Oh, you know what? You
Ben, I'd ask you to get out, but you're kind of in charge of this stream.
You're in charge of this production. Boo.
Even if you thought, you cannot repeat it.
I hope you're right that it is where you're saying it is, because I'm going to be mortified if I get there and it's not.
Would I lie to you, Jose?
Yes, you would. In fact,
only slightly.
You would. Only slightly. All right, let's go back.
CBW86 on Twitch asks, question, what did you guys love from...
Did he ask just like that?
It was question colon.
Question!
What did you guys love from Skyward Sword from a gameplay perspective? I love the flying bird and skydiving into a storm onto a flying whale and then fight an enemy on its back.
It was a beetle. Yes, I thought that the way they worked in motion control for a lot of the tools were what made that game really cool. So, doing things, for example, trying to figure things out and using the flying beetle, those are good examples of that. I'm going the wrong way. Sorry. I cannot believe.
Yeah, I mean,
This
Skyward
has
Sword, it's definitely like other games has its divisive crowd. I also really enjoyed some of the boss fights in that game.
Yeah, no, there's that one at it's somewhere near Lanrio Temple, but it's the one where you chop off his limbs.
Yeah, I was thinking of that one too.
Such
You
a
had
good
to get
fight.
his own weapons and use them against it.
Yep.
I thought that was so cool, especially like since Wind Waker, we've had the ability to pick up enemies' weapons sometimes, and not every Zelda game has done that. But to have a boss fight where your key component is picking up his fallen weapons and using it against him was really fun.
Yep. Agree. Agree. Total. All right, this is where we're supposed to be going. I cannot believe I missed a key.
Eric Stiffer asks, "Are there stamps and new chests?"
Yes.
I think they're old chests, but they have new stamps.
Yes, that is correct, Amundo. I gotta do this again. Can't believe this. Ben, I can't believe this. Ben's just shaking his head. It's like, Otero, you did this to yourself.
Jake Packer asks, "Should I get Twilight Princess or Wind Waker HD? I was out of gaming when both came out." I feel like if you already have a Wii U and you're looking to expand your library, and you have it, if you missed out on them the first time around, these are definitely quality Zelda games, quality games in general.
Agree.
And they're some of our favorite Zelda games.
Also agree. I agree with this man.
Yeah. So if you're looking to get back into the Zelda scheme, why not start with these two great games?
Figured it wasn't worth shooting at these guys. They're like right here.
Remember, you still have a Toon Link if you want some more arrows.
Yeah, that's right. Where am I at? Oh, no,
You're
I got
at max
30.
right now.
Yeah, I got max. Yeah, I should have checked that room. Cannot believe this. This has never happened before.
Jose backtracking Otero.
Yeah, that's what they call me now. Whoops. Okay, here we go. Got it this time. More like a slow run.
Nathan Young says it's confirmed they don't see YouTube comments as much, I guess. Well, I had to bounce between YouTube and Twitch and Twitter. I try as best I can, so I apologize if I don't see some of your questions.
We got it.
Also, YouTube moves really, really fast. You'd be surprised how hard it is to keep track of a conversation.
All
so,
right,
I'm going to
let's
stick
go
in YouTube
fight
for the next couple minutes, so ask away your questions that you have, and I'll see them.
So Ben, you're not gonna turn that into a clip, right? Jose forgot the key in Twilight Princess. No. Oh wow! I just noticed this, but because the art is higher definition, that is one of the lizards. He has them hanging.
Jeez.
In his cave.
What a savage.
Along with human hands.
Does the Toon Link amiibo do anything? It does.
Replenishes arrows.
Replenishes arrows. He already has max, but later, if we run out, we will. Is that a spinner?
Looks like
that?
it. I can't pick up the handle, but it's here.
It's like a disc tosser. That's
yeah,
cool.
it's funny kind of looking back at some of these old assets.
Is this the GameCube or Wii version? This is the Wii U version, but it's looking like the... Is it the
GameCube version? Yeah, because Link's
you
left-handed.
play Hero Mode, you get the Wii U-looking version.
Yeah. And there you have it. And I almost went the wrong way again. Here
Favorite dungeon, as I've said before, has to be the Snow Peak Ruins, the mansion. I really love that dungeon and its design.
Yep. Just rapid fire. Keep them coming.
Fire.
Questions.
What do
Give the boy the
amiibo
questions.
do in the HD version? The two links give you replenishing arrows.
Which I'm going to need
Zelda
if I
Sheik,
keep missing the way I do.
Replenish your hearts. Wolf Link takes you to a really cool dungeon in Wolf Link form, and you have to do a gauntlet style thing, kind of like the Cave of Ordeals. And the Gandorf, not pictured, will do double damage.
Thanks a lot.
So not appearing in this live stream.
Not pictured. Thanks. I appreciate you so much right now.
That's why I love doing live streams with you, Jose.
I can tell. Not pictured. Sorry. If you've been watching the stream, you know that a whoopsie happened. That is all. Yes.
Question. Wait, question. What is this? Question.
All right. We're back on track.
Ghost7291 question. What do you hope to see at this year's E3 press conference?
Zelda.
Zelda.
That's it. Zelda.
Give me Zelda. I want more Zelda.
That's all. Like
everything else is just gravy.
You can roll whatever else you want, but if Zelda has to, like I want such a good
They could announce Amiibo Festival 2 and end with Zelda, and I would still be happy. No, I wouldn't.
I didn't go there. Yeah,
I was not a fan of Amiibo Festival, but I want Zelda. A new Animal Crossing would be really, really nice.
Okay.
And I'm not just saying that because my wife wants me to say that.
Oh, okay. If you're watching, Mrs. Graver, he said it.
Said it. Use the Ganon Amiibo. Yeah, I don't have them.
We forgot him. We forgot him. We're sorry. Watch for a video on IGN where we actually use the Ganon Amiibo. Actually, there's a video already on IGN. If you head on over to, we have a Cave of Shadows clip on the site. You'll notice the hearts are purple. That is Ganondorf, active and ready to ruin your day.
Chad Carey says, can you play exclusively on the gamepad? Yes, you can.
Yes, you can. And in fact, it's closer to the 480p visuals that this game
initially. So you get the Twilight Princess experience on the power of a handheld.
That can't leave your living room.
Sure.
But yeah, what he said.
You've never used it in another room in your house, just without the TV?
I have, actually. My living room is pretty close to the bedroom, but that is none of your business, sir. Sorry. I'm just trying to make it through this.
I see people bring theirs to airports and just plug in the
yeah. No, I've been tempted to do that. I haven't done it yet, though.
All
right.
Questions.
We're on our way to Darvis. I've been wanting to fight Darvis the entire stream. I thought we were going to run out of time. We're right on time.
If you could play as Gandalf, would you? Says Zachary.
What, in this game or just in a game?
Sure.
What's that
The answer is yes. I want to play as Ganondorf.
What does sure mean?
Sure is sure. Sure is I have to extrapolate
skip these guys because oh man, there's a whole crowd.
Frank Lalick Jr. says, do you think Zelda games need to be harder or possibly have a difficulty setting? It's called Hero Mode, and I think it works fine.
I want to address that one actually.
Sure.
But first, I need to handle.
Just destroy everybody here.
Yeah, I need to handle some business.
I mean, that's the short answer. Is there isn't a difficult mode, but there is a larger issue of difficulty.
I think what just happened will kind of. So what just happened is I was surrounded by a group of enemies, and they basically got dismantled.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the Zelda games do need a kick in the difficulty area, and in this game, to be fair, they are putting that behind Amiibo, right? You can swipe a Ganondorf Amiibo and they increase damage. Yep. But I'm looking for something that's a little bit more difficult to fight, that there's a very specific approach to. And I feel like Wind Waker, you saw those. This game, you do get to them eventually. And if you have your secret techniques, you are the man. And you can tackle that. But I'm talking about, like, even go back to Ocarina of Time, where you had to cover up and hide for a while you're fighting Stalfos because you don't have an opening, so you have to wait for that opening. You don't see a ton of that. In Skyward Sword, you have moments like that.
I do think, though, that one of the best other moments in this game was right before fighting the last boss. You have to go up against two Dark Nuts. And I love Dark Nuts as characters. They're such fun battles.
But I do think there is it's a tough thing to balance, right? Because Zelda games are kind of an everyone game, as much as we don't seem to admit that sometimes.
No, that's true. That's very true.
So let's handle Darvis real quick, and then we'll come back to this one. Because, I do think there can be a kick in the difficulty direction, because it's been a while since I've been beaten by a Zelda.
This is not Hero Mode, yes, from Alec. If it was Hero Mode, things would be inverted, because...
Virus is upon us.
Darvis the Virus.
Get some. All right, so this is an awesome fight. It is an awesome fight, and I'm on the wrong side.
Only question y'all got for me. Can you play co-op? No, you cannot.
Wrong stream. Come back for Triforce Heroes. This is what I'm talking about. Kick this up, Ben. Yeah. We're just going to stay silent, and I'll tell you when to bring it back down. Oh, wrong thing. Oh, you can still hear me. Hi! Shh. So, when I trip this man, this is something that this game does that I think is really smart. Uh-oh. You gotta grab this first. I did it again. Here we go. All right, we can talk now. Brendan, the silence is killing me.
I'm just reading. Sorry, I was just reading some comments, looking for a fun question. Can you use the GameCube controller for this game? No, you cannot. You can use the Wii U pad or the Pro controller.
Ooh, I almost got both.
All right, this should be it. Version. I don't know what that is all about. Can you guys tell us how often you can use the amiibo?
From what we can tell, once a day, but we'll try using Link again in a minute to be sure.
That was a question from Joe.
Yeah, the once a day thing isn't new. I feel like Kirby and the Rainbow Curse had that. There are a few others. I mean, if you can replenish arrows at any time, it does kind of undermine the difficulty of any game.
Yeah, that's fair.
We did it.
Is there a boss rush mode in this game?
I love that too. The whole like little flourish.
I roll.
I don't think there was. It's not coming to mind. Sorry, I should probably.
They didn't add one.
Huh?
They didn't add one.
No, it's definitely not added. If it wasn't there when it launched, the only new thing I believe is Cave of Shadow.
Right.
We have a Fuse Shadow.
Yay!
Woo! Well done.
Yep. Here's a fun question from Presto Bunnies on Twitter, who tweets at us with the hashtag IGN Plays Live. What would you like the amiibo to do in Zelda for the Wii U?
More wish list stuff?
Well, I mean, we know what they do for this game. But if you could...
first.
That's an interesting question. I have to think about it a little bit.
I mean, the problem with answering the question is we just don't know enough about what New Zelda is.
I know.
There
could be so many mechanics that amiibo could be used for.
I mean, the one thing we know is it's an open world, and I can jump off my horse and shoot someone with an arrow.
And the horse knows where to go.
Yeah, on its own. Yeah, I guess there's that too. But there's so little information, like
That's
hard
true.
information on what the game is, so it's kind of hard to come up with what would this be. No offense.
No, yeah, there's definitely a lot of...
Look at the joy as we pick up this heart container.
Yeah,
you see the excitement on that
heart
man's
container.
Face? And then it's gone. He's an emotional blank
It's a good question, and I think more information needs to be presented first, like you said, before we can kind of speculate on what I would want amiibo to do. I want to know what the game can do first, and then I want to know what the amiibo can do.
Sure. Fair stuff. Sweet.
Okay.
Do you want to save? Sure, why not? All right, if you're just joining us, how much longer are we in here?
We're here for another 15...
13?
No, 20.
23?
23-ish minutes.
Okay. So I'm Jose Otero. This is Brendan Graver.
Hi.
We're playing Zelda Twilight Princess HD for you.
And all your comments, I'm looking at them on YouTube and Twitch and Twitter. Like,
well, if they
Juan
want to tweet,
Rodriguez
though, how do they do that? What's the hashtag?
You can tweet at us with the hashtag IGN Plays Live, and I will look at it.
There you go.
Or you could talk to us on YouTube, like Juan Rodriguez, who asks, what is a pole lantern?
A pole lantern.
Pole lantern.
So the pole lantern is a new thing.
It's a new thing. Haven't found it yet.
Yeah, haven't found where it is, but basically it'll tell you when you're near a pole.
Kind of like the Stone of Agony for pose.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah. So,
oh, hi, guys.
Hello. They're all just watching.
Oh, so you saw that.
You saw me talking to air. No. Hey, it's Colin. He lives.
Thank you, Jack McDonald, for watching our stream. We're so glad you could be a part of it, and check us out.
Thank you, Jack. The determined face of the hero.
I'm making my determined face now.
Yeah.
Can you tell?
Super. And now he's happy.
Now he's astonished. Look.
So, Ben, after this scene's done, can you kick it over to us, and I'm just going to load a different save file? Is that cool? Because I've got something a little later in the game that we can swap between Wolf Link and whatnot, and I think folks will want to see that. Sweet.
I have no idea what this means.
Skip it then.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry about me anymore. Go home, Ilya. I will watch over them. Ronaldo watching over the kids.
Who told you a Zelda MMO was a real thing, Jose Carrillo? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Grain of salt. Grain of salt.
Don't believe everything you hear on them their internets.
All right. Come on, Ronaldo.
At Lawn PS says, I liked Fi, or Fi, depending who you talk to, as a companion.
Yeah.
Especially because of the ending. What kind of companion would you like to see in the next Zelda game?
Good question. Well, so far they haven't shown one, but I think Midna's a top act to top, so to speak.
Hard
like,
act.
She's a hard act to top. She's just a fun character who has this antagonistic relationship with you, and then as it grows, you learn a little more about it. So Ben, you're back on us, right? Sweet. So I'm just gonna save here, and I'm gonna load a different file for you guys.
Oh boy.
A bit deeper into the game. Continue playing.
Yeah, I think what we're talking about Midna so well is that from a narrative standpoint as well as a gameplay standpoint, she was very useful. And yeah, the kind of the prickly personality was kind of fun as you kind of saw another side and learned more about her backstory. And I felt like Fi was kind of on your case, and so was Navi a little too much. Midna wasn't always yelling at you as much, and the way that she helped kind of was a fun way. Instead of just, hey, go here, or hey, do this, it was, hey, I can teleport giant objects. Hey, I need to get this fused shadow for reasons and do crazy stuff with it. So yeah, I do like a companion character that is more ingrained with the story and gameplay mechanics.
One character where that actually happened that no one ever talks about this, and I feel like I'm the only one sometimes that brings it up, is Spirit Tracks. Zelda had a very active role in that game. The only unfortunate part is that she's dead the whole time. But her phantom spirit is something that really works into the gameplay of that game. So in case you can't tell, we are at the I'm forgetting the name of this
Arbiter
place. It's
Ground.
terrible. Yeah, we just finished Arbiter's
Mirror
Ground,
Chamber.
and we're much deeper in the game. This is basically where the Twilight Mirror is, and we're going to activate it for the first time, so you're going to get to see that. Yes, the Mirror Chamber. That's the word I was looking for in my head. And this is much later in the game, so check this out. You're just able to change at will, and in an awesome way, it's located at the top right corner. So it's something you could just tap without even sort of looking down. I found out.
It's crazy.
Do that.
I love it. A question for our producer Ben from Mark Ben Tolina on Twitter. It says, off subject, how do you guys stream on both Twitch and YouTube gaming at once?
That might be a little granular.
So he takes one feed, and you push it out to IGN, to YouTube, to Twitch all at once because we have cool tech. We got super internets, he says.
Super internet.
We got all of the internets, actually. At least 95% of them. That's a joke?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. That's actually... Yasser Malik says, guys, spoilers ahead. So if you have never played Twilight Princess and you want to go on clear on story, you might want to go get a sandwich for the next 5 minutes.
True. Okay, so what I'll try to do to help out is... I'm going to get knocked off.
Where those bats come from?
I don't know,
Yeah,
actually.
Keith.
That's a great question. Why is this getting so difficult so early? Hang on, I'm going to clear this out a little bit. All right, that's 2.
Darn case.
Who's left? 3. All right.
Rivan Rana asks, can you remove the HUD if you're using the gamepad? Unfortunately, you can't really remove the HUD elements. They do kind of go away if you go into first person or when you're in combat for a bit. You can turn the minimap on or off on your on the screen.
Yep.
But other than that, it doesn't have Skyward Sword's level of removing HUD elements.
Yep. So this is a big spoiler, but actually, I only wanted to unlock that portal, so I'm gonna leave here. I'm not gonna activate
No spoilers.
Yeah, so we're gonna make this spoiler free. So if you left,
come back from your sandwich.
Well, it's too late to get you back now. But I definitely don't want to spoil the game for you, so we are going to instead try to link the mirror so close. She's insisting. We might be stuck here, actually. All right, go away for 2 minutes, maybe 5. Just a warning. Never mind. Kind of locked in at this point. Look at this awesome spinner action we have.
Such a catchy song.
We made it to the top. I dismounted just in case.
Another fun speculative question from Nesfreak to again. We have to say she was asking, what do you think the amiibo Wolf Link amiibo does in the new Zelda Wii U. We don't know because there's so little information that it could be anything. Once we know more about the game, we'll probably have better speculative answers because we'll know what the mechanics are like, the story is like, what the possibility is like. But right now, it could be anything.
Yep.
Literally anything.
You heard it here. All right, so this is a big story sequence. You may not want to see this. We're sorry.
Get that sandwich. Go get a glass of milk and...
Milk?
I don't know.
Sure.
What do kids drink these days?
Yeah, because the real villain is revealed. It's been 10 years, but still, if you really do like this scene,
if you're like another guy in the stream who said he had passed on these games, then maybe you should look.
Sacre bleu.
Bum, 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 bum. Oh, she's angry now. Mindy was very expressive. I like that.
Yeah, no, agree.
A lot of creepy grins.
Yes.
We have a Twitter question from John Cousins who asks, "Hi, guys. When does the review go up? And has anything been done to streamline the slow introduction?" In terms of streamlining, the narrative is still there, but as far as the tutorial areas, there's a couple of things where you move a little faster, like climbing vines, which kind of made the Ordon and the temple a little slow. It's actually much faster now. You can climb like a spider monkey. Review is TBA.
Next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
Next week. Stick around for that.
All right. So these guys, their design is so strange. Like the way their face is sort of separate from their head.
Yeah.
Like the mask kind of floats.
There's a lot
of
interesting design choices.
And here we have him, the man of the hour.
He who must not be named.
Love.
He who is not present among us.
Yeah. He apparently did make it to this live stream. No, but the way Zelda reinvents the myth and the way he looks in this game. I mean, look at that horse. He is like, that shot is totally Link's foil right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's got a tiara going on in this one. He's fancy.
That giant white sword.
Yeah, he's fancy. And he was blind. No, he wasn't.
This is such a cool scene.
This is probably one of the best cutscenes in the game. Yeah. Apologies again for those.
Is it Voldemort? We don't say his name.
It's funny, too, because his sword is based on that.
No, that is his sword.
Yeah, that's right. Well, based on that and is his sword. It's pretty close to the same thing.
Yeah.
Ooh. Painful.
Yet.
Yeah, he's kind of... Once they took Ganondorf and gave him, like, part of the Triforce, I feel like it really did complicate this whole universe, right? Because you have two very good people hanging on to good sides of this, and then you have one very powerful piece in the hands of the biggest villain in the entire game.
And they reuse the Ocarina of Time castle escape music here.
That's right.
And here we see his patented
side
B move.
Oh, that's right. Good job. Nice scouting.
My sword now.
So demonic. Such a good scene.
We screwed up.
What?
No, those guys.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Well.
Yeah, but they came up with the way to get rid of them.
Yeah.
Gotta give them
It
that.
was so polite to wait for them.
Absolutely. Yeah, this whole effect is really cool, too. It's their own version of the Phantom Zone. Right?
Yeah, it's true.
Send him away. We cannot stop him. Puts whole new meaning to. Remember that old thing they used to say about Jordan? You can't stop Jordan. You can only hope to contain him. This is it.
It's true.
Oof. Such a good scene.
He died.
He did not. What are you?
No, that sage.
Oh well.
He's gone now.
Yeah. It's an empty pedestal today. Oh, they're all sad.
My brother.
And theorizing about Xant's power. So we're almost through this. We're almost through the stream. So if you got questions, you're down to roughly 11 minutes to ask them. But we're here. Jose, this is Brendan.
Hi.
This is Zelda Twilight Princess HD.
It's the game. These are the amiibo. This is the Wolf Link one.
And there's no Ganondorf here because we forgot.
He went in the Shadow Zone.
Yep.
He's gone.
Oh, that's what we did with him? That's what we're going to tell
the Twilight Zone.
That's what we're going to tell the internet? Ugh.
Let's see. Who has a question?
Send your questions. How can you question us? There's a couple ways.
You can question us on YouTube, and I'll do my best to scroll through. You can question us on Twitch, and I'm looking at that too. You can tweet at us with the hashtag IGNPlaysLive, just like Lon PS, who says, "What is your favorite final boss battle? I love the final sequence in Skyward Sword, especially Demise. I love this final battle.
Yeah,
it's
really
a
brilliant.
4-part series with a climactic end."
Nice. Elegant way to save it. I like it. Let's teleport for the first time, because I need to do that really quick.
A non-spoiler thing I'll say about it is, when I was playing it to that point, I was like sitting on the edge of my bed playing it, and the second they got to the final segment, I'm like, all right, I'm standing up, I'm putting my arms out like a true swordsman.
Yeah.
I was into it.
I feel like each game finds a way to make the last fight really satisfying, so it's hard to kind of point to one. I mean, A Link Between Worlds had an awesome like final fight. Even the last dungeon and the way it sort of. Oh, I'm gonna freak out Epona right now. Look at that! I'm your master. So we're gonna go inside because we actually will be pointed into the next direction. Hey, and we've got mail.
Kashawn Carpenter asks, "Why can't you use Link in the Cave of Shadows?" Because he's
Wolf
already
Link only.
Yeah, because it's a very exclusive club. Only Wolf Links are allowed. And for us humans, we can go to the Cave of Ordeals.
Yeah, which is a Link dungeon, essentially. Yes. Yeah, or you can choose.
You could, yeah.
Let's go to Hyrule. It's probably the biggest form of Hyrule Castle has ever had.
Yeah, because it has all the different sections.
Yeah.
I mean, Hyrule and Ocarina of Time had that back alley.
I still think the standout town, though, is still Majora's Mask. Like, Clocktown is still the best town they've ever done. But
I think part of that is because of the characters.
Yeah, no, exactly. Everyone lives on a schedule, and you kind of have to figure out when was the best time to go see them. And they have a little bit of that here. You know, there's people like Agatha who you can go check out, and there are a few mini games, but it's a lot different.
When does this come out, Aaron? First of all, it comes out March 4th.
That's right.
Soon.
Very soon.
Joe Smith just joined What I Missed. You missed the entire stream. We have 10 minutes left, but don't worry. I believe this stream will be a video on demand, and we'll replay it on IGN as soon as it ends.
Yep.
So head over to IGN.
2 hours of Twilight Princess.
Does it replay on YouTube as well, Ben, or just IGN? Okay, you can probably find it on YouTube, but I suggest you go to Twitch or IGN's main page, which it will probably still be, and it will replay it for the next 2 hours.
Yep.
But we won't be live anymore, so we can't take your questions at that point.
Dropping in to visit Telma. She's in the northern mountain, and this sets up Snow Peak, which is a very awesome dungeon. Probably one of the best ones in this game. That and Sky Temple.
We talked about good companions. Eric Wade asked, "Who's the worst side companion?"
I think Fi gets that one, just for like the constant interruption, right? I think as a cipher for what that world was setting up, which is sort of the start of this big Zelda myth, because that's ultimately what that game was going for. You know, it's unfortunate, but that seems to be the case. I can't think of anyone else who really gets as much dislike. Oh, so you can't transform in front of other people? Hear that?
You can play a rockin' song though.
Somewhat.
Just like Majora's Mask with guitar.
If you ask Minna, she'll even tell you. Oh, I just asked Minna. Sorry, I meant to transform. So let's do that again.
You can't. They're people.
She says it would scare someone, which is just funny because in Majora's Mask, you could transform in front of anyone, and no one really had anything to say about it. So it's funny to see them take that into
people knew about Gorons and Deku people, but they didn't know about wolves.
Maybe.
With crazy imps right in the back.
All right, so we're going up north.
I wonder if half of the reason is because of her. Because a dog is just a dog, but a dog with an imp on its back.
No, but it turns human. I don't know. We're overthinking this, but it is freaky, like for sure. And even they can't see me, so you gotta like run over to a corner. So here's where Zora live, and we're gonna change back. And here we are. Presto changeo. The wolf is gone.
Scariest monster is the mailman. Scariest monster has to be That darn guy under the well.
Oh.
From Ocarina of Time.
Look at this place, though.
Nice.
Yeah. I can't show it to you here, but the water temple has like a shimmery texture, like on the wall. So when you sort of pan around, you'll see like a shimmer, which also looks pretty cool. All right, so let's head in this direction.
Matthew on YouTube asked what the amiibos do. These ones.
Man, you've answered this question at least 6 times.
I'm always happy to restate information from new people.
Yep.
These two ones, Zelda and Sheik, will replenish your hearts. These two replenish your arrows, Link and Toon Link.
And Ganondorf claims your soul.
In the Shadow Realm, he will do double damage that you'll take, and that's quadruple if you do hero mode. And the Wolf Link one transports you to the Cave of Shadows, which is a gauntlet-style thing. Just like the Cave of Ordeals, only you're only Wolf Link. And if you complete it, you get to use Wolf Link to replenish any hearts that you have remaining when you finish that dungeon. Plus, you get a really big old rupee sack of 9,999 limit. A lot of amiibo stuff.
Nice. All right, I'm just going to dive down. We made it. All right, we're going this way.
We just got a couple minutes left for any last-minute questions. What's your favorite Ocarina of Wind Waker song? Asked Trey Stevens. Has to be the Song of Storms.
It's a front runner for sure.
Yeah, so catchy.
No, Zelda's Lullaby was really cool. The first time you heard it, I mean, it's still something that is super identifiable, I feel, to a lot of people from that generation. And it's stuck around, you know? That and Song of Storms. That is a creepy getup. Is that also made of the Yeti sort of like material? Also, she needs a nap.
She also needs a different haircut. It's like the reverse Widow's Peak.
Ouch. Thanks, Tim.
Lon PS says, awesome job with the stream, answering questions. Ryan McCaffrey and Jose. I'm actually not Ryan McCaffrey, but close.
Whoops. That's Brendan
I'm Brendan
Graver.
Graver, at Raga_Fraga. Looking forward to other IGN Plays Live from both of you. Who knows? You may just see us more in the future, doing more live streams, because we're really cool together.
This direction. Oh, so actually, we cannot. We have to get that specific fish.
The red fish. The reek fish.
The leek
fish.
Was it leek fish?
Oh,
it was a stinky red. Yeah, reek. Thank you.
It's reeks. Get it?
It was pretty bad. I also don't want to fall in the
We're
water.
answering questions from everywhere. Undercover on Twitch, on YouTube, on Twitter for the next couple minutes. If you've got a question, you can ask me right now. This very moment.
All right, I'm going to head over to Kakariko Village because that's our next place we need to be.
See, this jars me because I look, I'm like, wait, you're going to Gerudo Desert. Why are you on the right?
Oh, yeah, that's right, because you played it on Wii. Yeah, no, that gets to a lot of people, I feel. But it is what, in fact...
Question, what's your favorite 2D Zelda game and why? Says Ollie Moore. I said that Link to the Past is my favorite for a multitude of reasons. I love the story, love the music, love the dungeons, love the boss fights. I love everything about that game. I especially love the going to the Dark World for the first time.
Yep. Ditto, what he said. I think A Link Between Worlds is up there. I count that more as a 2D game than a 3D game.
Yeah.
But the edge goes to A Link to the Past, right? For not just being a Super Nintendo classic, but because A Link Between Worlds is as fresh and as cool it is to revisit some of that style. It's fairly easy.
It has a very expansive overworld that was just fun to go back and explore new areas when you had new items.
Yep, I agree.
Undercover asks, did they update the music like they did in Wind Waker HD? The music seems the same.
No, the music is the same. I'm kind of stunned for if the music was updated in Wind Waker.
I thought a couple pieces were. I don't think a lot was. I thought a couple things were. They're very small. I don't know. I could be wrong, though.
Yeah, it's been a while for me.
Well, if it ain't the Rudo boy.
Yep. Just came to me in a dream. Wait, what'd he say? Oh, I have to give him a note.
You are worthy.
Have this. No, this was such a thing in Ocarina of Time, right? Like, I feel like I haven't had to show anyone a note in Zelda since.
That's
and I'm
true.
probably wrong, but
In Wind Waker, there was a couple mailbag stuff.
Yeah, but also very little. Like,
yes.
Right? Like, but then again, that's how it should be, right? It's a once in a while thing. Oh man, but this kid's backstory is really sad.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into that one here.
Even if it's still the MIDI samples, I still like this soundtrack.
Yep. Good. Okay.
Are we at time? It's
all
3
right.
o'clock.
So you give them the. How often do we stream?
Isn't it like every day now, Ben? Not every day. Most days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 4 days.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
We're streaming all sorts of games, all those days. Different people. Sometimes we'll be back. We have some fun stuff. What do we have for the rest of the week, Ben? Do you know? 2 shows. Smite Bait on PS4 is 1 show. Naomi's playing Plants vs. Zombies God Warfare 2. Thursday we're doing Overwatch.
We might have something cool, but
What?
we're not saying yet.
Something cool on Friday?
No, not something new and cool. Let's
but
fix
something
that.
cool
Something
on
cool
Friday.
that we've been thinking
Maybe
about.
if you stick around, you'll find out. So
not trying to overhype it, like it's definitely not more Twilight Princess HD, but it is a fun project me and Brendan have been wanting to do for a while. You'll see if it comes together or not, and if not, either way, you're right here. Thanks a lot for watching.
thank you so much.
We're here at IGN. You can find us on every social feed possible, and always come back to check out our live streams and whatnot. So until then, for Brendan Graver, I'm Jose Otero. Thank you so much for watching.
Bye-bye.
Why, hello there, Internet. My name is Jose Otero. I'm here with Brendan Graver.
How you doing?
And we are streaming The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD for you today. That's 2 hours of Brendan
2 hours
worshiping
of this.
Wolf Link. So, Ben, let's just jump right in. We're here